pretty sure no one's volunteering to stand in front of a nuclear blast. Some people are saying this guy is recreating the nuclear shadows from Hiroshima, and I get why. They do look similar, but they're showing two very different things. When a nuclear bomb goes off, it releases intense radiation that can bleach or burn surfaces instantly. If something or someone is in the way, it blocks that radiation, shielding the spot behind it. The exposed area gets scorched or chemically changed, and that protected patch, it stays untouched. That's what creates the shadow effect. Now, this experiment, notice how it looks kind of black and white. That's because you're seeing it through a thermal camera. The sun heats the wall, but the guy blocks some of that infrared heat, so the spot behind him stays cooler. The camera picks up that temperature difference, which gives you the appearance of a shadow. So I guess neither of these are real shadows after all.
If you thought your childhood was weird, I grew up as an identical triplet and I have no idea who I am in any photo for the age of 8. I'm being dead serious. Like, my mom will show us a photo of the three of us and ask which one I think I am, and I have no idea. Like, I'll just blankly stare at the photo and just guess. And then I'll ask her and she'll just shrug. She doesn't know either. I guess this is just like my life now. Like, I feel like there's a pretty good chance that I'm not actually me.
Did you know that in just a few months you could unlock the skill of echolocation and navigate better in the dark? This is one of those things that blows my mind, that this isn't common knowledge. Humans can use echolocation.
A passageway between buildings, and then we have stuff basically in the way, tall stuff, posts or something.
That was Daniel Kish. When he clicks, he's sending out a wave, and when that wave hits a surface, it reflects back to him. He is able to process the shape, the texture. He can ride his bike while understanding what's around him. This is real stuff. Studies done on him have shown how his brain reacts when this processing is happening. A paper published just last year found that in 10 weeks, everyone tested, groups included people that couldn't see and people that could see, everyone was able to learn how to do this through the training. Both groups were able to cut the time it took them to navigate a maze in half, and MRI scans actually revealed significant changes in brain activity and structure following the training. I'm not a brain person. I think this study is fascinating. I think there are some really interesting implications that aren't really testable, but one of the, from what I've read, I've researched this a bit, a lot of the people who learn how to do this, they kind of do it naturally in like I'll say a bathroom type environment. An environment like that has really good acoustics for it, a shower. Caves would be great for this. Who else could really use this skill? Ancient people that were really using caves over 30,000 years ago. Like I said, I know it can't be tested, but I really am curious to know whether ancient groups of people were using this skill to navigate caves. Sure, they had fire, but that's not always super reliable. Being able to click and perceive the reflections back to you to navigate that cave, that would be a super useful skill that could be taught from generation to generation.
You see those holes right there? This spin top, when you spin it, makes a whistling noise. And if you've never seen this, this is called a Siren King. It is from the mid-1900s, and we're gonna make it spin so that we can hear that sound. Now, before we do that, I wanna talk a little bit about the parts. You'll notice that this doesn't have a crown. It's pretty flat up here. This tip is very thin, and it's a little rusty because it is old. It's an old spin top, but it still works. The string is thinner, and in order to make this spin, you just wrap the string here, you hold it down, and then you start wrapping layer by layer. Now, I want you guys to comment down below if you think that the noise this makes was what you were expecting, okay? So I'm about to do that. We got this, all right, let's see, 1, 2. You hear that? You hear that? Let me slow it down. I'm gonna slow it down because when it slows down, that noise goes away. So this is the spin top spinning, not making noise. But yeah, let me know what you think and if that was the sound that you were expecting.
How much is this?
Okay, who can explain this?
How much is this?
This is $9.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, and then there
Thank
you
you.
go.
Oh, and how much is this one?
Okay, so this is $2.
Okay, here.
Okay, perfect. Now you owe me $1 more.
But I gave you a 10, and then I gave you another 1.
So that's 9 plus 2, that's 11, so you're missing $1.
No, 9 plus 2 equals 11, and then 10 plus 1 also equals 11. So,
I'm very confused. So it's $2, but you gave me $1.
yeah, because I already gave you a 10.
But I give you a change of $1.
And then 10 plus 1 equals 11, and so does 9 plus 2.
Oh.
Thank you, bye.
You keep having dreams that come to pass, you are a seer. Dreaming is one of the most underestimated and undervalued, misunderstood aspects of the prophetic dimension. But it's one of the most essential ways that God, the heavens, communicate with people in the earth. Stop brushing it off. Stop calling it coincidence. Heaven is trying to talk to you. Here are 7 signs that your dreams are prophetic. Number 1, your dreams actually come to pass. You see it in your sleep, and in days or weeks or even years later, it unfolds exactly the way that you saw it. Number 2, there is vivid clarity. Your dreams feel more real than real life. You wake up and remember details, faces, places, phrases, times, people. Number 3, repetition. God keeps showing you the same thing over and over in different ways. He's confirming his word to you. Number 4, there's an emotional weight. You wake up troubled, burdened, like the dream has followed you out of the unconscious realm into your awakened state. That's not anxiety, that's spiritual intelligence. Number 5, symbolic language is in your dream. Your dream is full of numbers, animals, names, colors, strange locations. Those are codes that you have to be trained to interpret. Number 6, your dreams have warning and direction. You've been warned about people. You've been warned about jobs. You've been warned about relationships. And when you didn't listen, it backfired. That wasn't just your overactive emotions or imagination. That's discernment through your dream state. And then number 7, you audibly hear the voice of the Lord in your sleep. Not your voice, but his, and it's unmistakable. So you need to understand that you're not just having random regular dreams. You're seeing. And in your sleep, you're traveling. You're not crazy. You're called. And you need to steward, hone, train, and be trained in the gift of God.
I just learned that the reason you get a headache when you're dehydrated is because your brain is actually shrinking due to fluid loss. And so it's pulling your brain away from your skull, and that irritates the membranes and the nerves around your brain. I'm disgusted.
I hope those soldiers were silently protesting by marching like shit for that stupid parade. But I was in the military, and I was once a young soldier, so I doubt it. I was a medic, so I was close and personal with these mostly dudes, because I had to take care of them after their bad decisions. And what I learned about their psychology is that these 18 to 24-year-olds don't give a shit about anything except finishing the current stupid task that they've been given so they could end the duty day, go to the nearest dive bar, marry whatever woman happens to be there that night, and then with her go lease a Ford Mustang and or Camaro, depending on when the last Transformers movie came out. The ones that were smart enough to be politically minded and paying attention to what they were being told to do and how it affected their political views were smart enough not to do things like draw attention to themselves or convince everybody to march like shit in a parade. The hungover guys certainly didn't care what they were currently doing, and the ones that were thinking about stuff were not going to go around to every other battalion full of other hungover dudes they didn't know and be like, hey, this is pretty dumb, right? What if we all marched like shit? When the more likely explanation is, they didn't have time to make it look good. Because it was a stupid request from a stupid man to do something that we've never done as a military before, ergo North Korean-style dictator parades. Grabbed a bunch of random officers, bust their soldiers into D.C. and said, figure out how to do this thing that we don't do. Do it good, though. I've been in a parade in the military, not a douchebag's birthday parade, but they grab some random National Guard soldiers on Memorial Day, throw them in a Humvee to smile and wave at civilians. If you didn't get the coveted spot of sitting during the parade and you had to march in the 16-man formation they managed to grab together, you had a half hour in a field behind the podunk town you were going to walk through to do the D&C you hadn't done since basic. That's drill-in ceremony. I'm betting they bust these people out to D.C., had maybe a half a day to figure out, oh shit, these guys look terrible. And then they went, just march at your own pace. Do I wish that all of those soldiers had the wherewithal to realize they were being used as props in a narcissist's little birthday bash? Hell yeah. I hope that that's the case, but it's probably just incompetence. Incompetent leaders are not a new thing in the military. They're so famous to the US military that the term fragging exists. Vietnam officers were so bad at their jobs that the soldiers under them would just toss a frag grenade into their tent because they figured that the next officer they got would probably be better off. And this is a long and storied history of incompetence, going back to all the way at the beginning, before America was even formed. And this administration has a track record of firing competent officers and driving out the other ones. So while in my heart of hearts, I wish that the military chose to look like shit on Trump's birthday just to spite him, it's more likely just incompetence. Just regular old, not enough time, logistics, and the ability to command troops. And that feels less good, but it does feel apropos for the 250th birthday of the, thing that gave me asthma and PTSD and drove my friends to suicide. Happy birthday, Army!
But nobody wants to tell these unfortunate bodybuilding customers is why people are selling whey protein. They're selling whey protein because when you take milk and you convert it into cheese, as the cheese becomes solid, you have all this water that's left over, and you have to drain it out. That water has whey protein in it. And for many years, the dairy farmers couldn't figure out what to do with all of that whey. They would bury it in a landfill. They would pay people to take it away. And somebody found out a number of years ago that they could dehydrate it, put it in a tub, and put it on the shelf and say, this will build your muscles. And sadly, people believed it, and they buy it. To this day, that's what it is. It's the junk of the cheese industry.
Look at this picture and tell me that you don't think the blind spots on lifted trucks are getting out of hand. Like, you can't even see their windshield at all. Like, as a general rule of thumb, if you pass another car in a parking lot, you should be able to make eye contact with the other driver. We have this picture that perfectly illustrates how a child standing at their full height is basically invisible in front of a truck, and this is a stock truck. It's not lifted at all. And the worst part about this is that they don't really need to be designed this way. They don't have to have these massive brick wall front ends. Like, this truck on the left has much better visibility and in a lot of ways is more capable than the truck on the right. Like, this entire K-Truck fits inside the engine compartment and the front door of the F-150, and it only comes up to its hood, but their bed lengths are basically identical. The irony is that a lot of American farmers who actually need a truck to do truck stuff are importing K-Trucks in droves because they're better at doing truck things around the farm. And if you go look at the parking lot for a big grocery store or supply store in Japan for people who run businesses, it's all K-Vans and K-Trucks because they don't need anything bigger than that. And then if they need something more heavy duty, they use something like this, like a big cab-over truck that has incredible visibility and tons of practicality. And they managed to build an entire nation without a single one of these, and everyone is doing just fine.
Most people put their cell phone right next to their bed. Worst thing you can do. That radiation going right into your brain, disrupting your sleep. You could put it on airplane mode or move it far away from you so it drops that radiation stress no matter what. Night one, you're going to sleep better. Take my word for it.
Hey, good morning, party people. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on this thing, but I just had to reach out. I saw these videos of Trump's birthday parade and the soldiers marching out of step. And I got to thinking, I was in the Army for a long time. I was in the Marines before that. Every single soldier knows how to march. We all know how to march. You've done it a million times. There's no way those soldiers, if they were actually soldiers and not paid, would be marching like that. And secondly, the way they were wearing their covers, there's no way. There is no way. So either they're not soldiers and they were hired to march along and don't know how to do it, or they are soldiers, and this is where I'm thinking. Somebody in their chain of command went, oh, no, we are not doing a North Korean style goose step march in front of this joker. We're not doing it. And I've known so many NCOs. And when NCOs don't want to fucking do something, Shit happens. And so I bet you along the way, someone in that chain went, don't march. No, we're not marching in step. Jack up your covers. Make it look bad. We're not going to. And did you also see, by the way, Trump is standing, saluting, and not a single one of those soldiers was saluting back. Not one. And I'll tell you this, in boot camp, you learn day one that there is a point at which you do, it's called eyes right, where you're marching along and eyes right, and you turn towards the podium and you salute. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows how to do it. They all know. And not one person did it. And not one NCO running, not one decided, we're going to salute this bastard. Makes me feel good about my military right now. Oh, we're not playing this game. We're not playing.
This is what makes a knockoff wheel. Okay? This is a ball of lead. So this whole thing is your lug nut. And what you do is you would just hit it here as hard as you can until this whole nut spins off, and then that takes your wheel off. Okay? This was designed a long time ago, and the whole reason behind this was it's a lot quicker than going bzz, 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 doing 5 lug nuts. So it was a racing purpose only. So you would do this, you get in the pit, you needed a tire change, they'd just hit it real hard, spin it off, pull it off, put the new one on, and then hit it back, and you were done. It's the quickest way to change a tire.
Whoa, child of God is you again. Welcome back to the channel. It's a pleasure having you joining us on this beautiful day. We shall be spreading love and peace together. I'm White 311H, by the way. In this video we've just seen here, it's quite interesting. Myself, I'm always fascinated when I see and learn things from this video about cars, because I know this could be a good sign. I've worked for quite some time here. Maybe God is preparing me with these videos so that soon, or who knows God's time when it will reach, and maybe we will stop working. But as you watch these videos, my friend, I hope you enjoy and spread love to those around you. Peace and good vibes all the way. Let's continue watching.
So this right here is one of the best illustrations I can show you of a rip current at low tide. What you're seeing right now is the water coming up, and it is pooling on both sides, to the left, to the right. And why rip currents are so dangerous is that, as you can see, the water is going right back out into the ocean right there. But with it being so small, you can definitely see it, and on low tide.
Have a look at this image that was seen on the uniform of an Israeli soldier. Look closely. What do you see? You see Palestine, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Egypt, and a small part of Turkey. And next to it is written, the Promised Land. What does this mean?
A lot of people laughed at me yesterday when I asked if that missile was hypersonic. Is this one hypersonic? And if not, I can only assume a hypersonic is invisible until the explosion goes off. Either way, this is escalating.
Tell me why I just now figured out in the Bible what water, the importance of it actually is. Like, did you guys know that in the Bible, it starts with Noah, the flood of the earth? It was to judge what I originally thought was humans going against God, but it's actually way deeper than that. For instance, did you guys know it was actually to judge the fallen angels or Nephilim or whatever the heck that was doing these wicked things with humans? Like, it was to judge them because of how corrupt they were making everything. But it doesn't stop there. We continue to start seeing a lot of things that have to do with water when we start seeing it. I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. Number one, the guy who had demons multiple in him, when he tried to go and kill Jesus, and Jesus cast the demons, which they called themselves Legion, there was multiple of them in this guy. When he cast them out, he cast them into swine. What happened when he did that? The swine leaped off a cliff into what? The sea. Now you're starting seeing a connection. I'm going to give you more though. Jesus, when he walked on water, what was he walking on? The sea. Okay, you think, well, that's two examples of, the sea, where Jesus is basically showing his authority over these demonic evil things. No, there's more. Don't forget about Moses. What did God give Moses the power to do when he was in the worst part ever, probably about to die with all the people around him? The power to part the sea. He parted the sea, another form of God's authority over demons. But it doesn't stop there. I'll give you another example. And this goes to the book of Revelation. Thank you, God. We look at the Euphrates River. What happens when the Euphrates River, which is binding something by the water, what happens when all that water is dried up? These really demonic evil things are released to kill the third of man. But the importance is they're bound by that water right now in the Euphrates River. I'll still give you another example. I know it's actually wild how many of these things are crazy examples. The dragons that it talks about, as well as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Where do these evil things come from or come out of? I tell you this, they come out of the sea. So for those who are still at the end of this video not putting the pieces together, this evil entity, crap, demonic things are all bound in the sea right now. Do you guys understand? And in the book of Revelation, we find out the signs that are given to the world whenever all this blood is shed and all that crap. It's shown in the fresh water and the seas. Like, come on, guys. We now know where the evil things are bound, and it is in the depths of the sea. Think about it. Then you might wonder, well, why is all of our body made of water? To protect from that. What else does water do? It helps cleanse diseases from these cuts, whatever in our body that makes it infected and has all this disease. Water can cleanse that. Think about it. When God tells us to go on a fast, we can still drink water only for up to like 30 or 40 days like he did and be spiritually awoken on just water? What is this telling us? Anyways, you guys need to really study your Bible because this Bible lore is crazy.
When I first saw this, I was like, there ain't no way that town is actually built inside a meteor crater. I mean, look at that. It's just too good to be true. Look at how circular that is. So I looked into it, and that's where I found that this town is absolutely built inside a meteor crater, and that this town is probably the least interesting thing about this meteor crater. This is the town of Nordlingen in Germany, and it's located inside the Nordlinger Rice impact crater. And you gotta be like, yeah, no shit, look at how circular that is. Of course it's an impact crater. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But here's an actual map of that impact crater. It's 15 miles in diameter. While technically that's true, it's a little misleading because it makes you think this is the crater. But the real crazy thing about this crater is it has a mineral found nowhere else in the world. It's called moldavite. It looks like this. It was a type of projectile glass that was formed when this meteor impacted the ground 15 million years ago. If you like geology, it's super cool because it's really fucking rare and only comes from this one crater. And if you're a crystal girly, it's really cool because it's super fucking powerful and can make you explode people with your mind. If you want to learn more about cool archaeology and natural science, come check me out over on YouTube, Mini Minute Man.
Here's some shit about the brain that bothers me. It named itself, for one. When you see neurosurgeons in medical school and one of them looks at a brain and throws up, that is the brain being disgusted with the way it looks. When you're sick, you're actually in your healing process because you've been sick and your brain just figured out that the body was sick, so it started to do all these things like raise your body temperature and make your nose drip to try to get the illness out of you. The body and the brain are two separate things working together, which is why sometimes you get cut and you don't actually realize you got cut until you look at it, and then your brain realizes you're cut and then it makes it hurt. You can bite your finger off as easily as you bite into a carrot, but your brain will stop you from doing that because it recognizes that it will hurt, but it doesn't stop you from doing things like SH, even though that also hurts. Your brain has access to a plethora of drugs that will make you happy, like dopamine and serotonin, but it makes you work for them. You can't just get them at any given time. You have to do something for it. On the flip side of this, you don't have to do a fuck thing for the sad shit that it can also dispense to you at any given time. Your brain recognizes being tickled as an assault to the body, and the reaction is being ticklish when you get tickled. But you can't tickle yourself because your body knows you're not gonna hurt yourself. I used to suffer from really bad fainting spells, which means at any given time of the day, my brain would just knock me the fuck out. but I don't know why it stopped. Also, your brain can fix you at any point in the day. Actively, it can fix whatever is wrong with you at any point in the fucking day, but it still makes you sleepy so that you go to sleep so that it can stay awake and fix what the fuck is wrong with you. And last but not least, your brain develops before your body in the womb and is there for the entire process of the development of your body in the womb. And sometimes still just lets that shit be wrong. I don't understand.
Is it normal for a grown-ass man to, like, not have any friends? Am I normal? I don't have, like, a group of guys that I text with or buddies that I'm chatting with on the phone or go fishing or hunting and, like, go out to bars drinking, and I don't have any friends. Like, my wife is my best friend, and literally that's the only person I really spend time with. I mean, I talk to people. I go to the gym and all. I have, like, a few, acquaintances at the gym that I'll spend 15, 20 minutes talking to, but I don't ever, like, text or call. Or is that normal when you get older as you age? Or am I just, like, a loner? Am I, like, so lost in my own anxieties and depression that I've outcasted everybody? Since I've been in my 20s plus, I've never really had close friends. And I keep seeing all these videos of people hanging out together. And am I not normal? I just don't even know how to feel about it.
Are your ears older than you? Take this test to find out. When you stop hearing the noise, stop the video. That is the age of your ears. The frequency with which you hear changes with age. Around here it gets interesting. You still in?
Oh, that was mind blowing. I didn't know that's how it works. That is one of the things we might try out soon and see the level of honesty in the video. Well, now, child of God, thanks for watching up to this point. Before we end up the show, there is some story that have caught my mind. It's some good vibes guy, probably someone's father, husband, who was saying that they're extremely a grown-up man and they don't have friends. Which takes us back to our message, my friend. Love your neighbor the way you love yourself. Be a friend that you would need to that next person to you. That way, the whole world will be full of good vibes. And that good vibes guy would not have felt like he's abnormal, because the whole world would be loving towards him the way he loves himself. Anyway, about that, my friend, and all you have just seen, I hope you've left your comments down below. Now, this is that moment we share some word from the book of wisdom. My friend, pass me the book. Or today you will read for us. Friend claims he's a bit shy to read for us today. He might read for us in the next episode. Hear what the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 17, going down says today. Then you will know. Okay, the title, Blessings for God's People. Verse 17 starts. Then you will know that I, the Lord your God, dwell in Zion. My holy hill, Jerusalem, will be holy. Never again will foreigners invade her. In that day, the mountains will drip new wine, and the hills will flow with milk. All the ravines of Judah will run with water. A fountain will flow out of the Lord's house. And it continues with extremely interesting promises. Good vibes, child of God. Let's say thank you to the Creator for that word with a short quick prayer. Thank you, wonderful Father. for this far, for the beginning and this point we've reached the end. Thank you for the experience you've given us together with the child here, today's viewer. We give you glory for that. Thank you for the words from the book of wisdom, reminding us, Father, of your love for us and the great things in store for us, Father. All glory and honor belong to you. Today we come before you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Father. We pray that as we end this video, we will do great things for this viewer, Father. Uplift their souls, Father. Give them strength always. Help them to walk in your path and do what is right, Father. Intervene in their lives. Give them the desires of their hearts, Father, according to your will. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Till next time, wonderful, beautiful child of God. Peace, love, and good vibes be with you. I've been your host and friend, White 311H. Bye bye. Peace.